So the international aspect of the convention will be almost untouched by any other convention ever held here. I think it should be said too that one of the, as Steve mentioned, one of the real key aspects of our getting the convention were the facilities. The Alamo Dome permits us to hold the plenary sessions, the opening sessions and the closing sessions of the convention at one time. I've been to about 10 or 12 international conventions, and in every one, including Mexico City and Nice and all the others, the plenary session has to be held twice. One time in the morning, one time in the afternoon. The same thing with the closing session, because they couldn't put the entire convention in one facility. The Alamo Dome permits us to do this, so that we can pick up a half a day in the beginning and a half a day at the end for other aspects of the program. And I think this was a very important point in our getting the convention. The other thing is, and it happens by wonderful, wonderful coincidence, and that is if everything stays on schedule, the renovation and the construction on the new convention center and the renovation of the old part of the convention center is due to be completed in January of 2001, which is very nice timing. Now, all I can say is the contractors get out there and work real hard because we need to. But I think it's a very exciting announcement. I want to say I've received a lot of accolades here today. It took a lot of people working hard. Jim Berg led the way, and a lot of people have worked on this, and we're very, very pleased and very excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan, and it would not have occurred without you, and I appreciate the effort and the time and the organizational skills that you lend to it. Jeff, would you like to say some words? And after you, Jerry Harris, who has led this club and the district to every international meeting in memory that I know of. Okay, please, Jerry.
I was just one of a large number.
Let me just interrupt. Jeff is not only a member of our board of directors and a member of our club, but also Senator Wentworth. We're very pleased to have him here in both capacities. His advice is legendary, right?
As I was going to say, I was just one of the members of the committee that helped to try to bring this convention to San Antonio, and we're all very gratified that it's happened. But I want to echo what Steve Moore said. The real credit goes to Jim Berg and Duncan Wimpress. They worked unceasingly and tirelessly for the entire time that this became even a possibility. As a Republican who helped host the site selection committee for the Republican National Convention a couple of years ago, I was real disappointed when my party made what I consider to be a significant mistake by picking Southern California over us for our convention this summer. I'm really looking forward to this, and as all of us who live in San Antonio or even close by know, that once these folks come here and they've tasted a little Mexican food and some good South Texas barbecue, they'll be back many, many times after the year 2001. Thanks very much.
Before Jerry comes, I want to read this very short facts that I got from Jerry Barton, who is the Rotary Director in California. Congratulations, and he was a member of the Site Selection Committee. I was delighted to hear that the final decision of the Rotary International Board overwhelmingly selected San Antonio for the site of the 2001 convention. It's important that members of your club and the business community be reminded that although San Antonio is a beautiful city with its many outstanding features, it was the commitment, dedication, and enthusiasm of your club members that made the difference. I will never forget the greeting at the airport. At the airport, and many of you who were there remember, we all had our blue t-shirts on, and he came off he was told by the pilot to get off the airplane first. He had no idea what was coming, walked out of the door and got mariachis and a sea of blue t-shirts. And as you can see, he still hasn't forgotten it 4 months later. I don't know when I will ever see such a spirited bunch of Rotarians again. I wish that I could be at your Wednesday event, which was last night when we announced it to the club. Now, Jerry, would you please say some things, and then we'll invite any questions that you might have. Thanks, Jerry.
This is very exciting, and as a matter of fact, out in that audience, I would like everyone that's attended a Rotary International Convention, and there's several that have attended many, raise your hands. Okay, these are people that know what an international convention can bring to a city. President Jim asked me a couple days ago, well, what makes this convention beneficial to San Antonio? Why is it different than any other convention that comes here? So I just jotted down quickly some things that you've already heard from Steve Moore and our mayor alluding to some of the things, but direct benefits. An influx of approximately 35 to 40,000 Rotary delegates, spouses, children, and guests for at least a 6-day stay in June 2001. The economic impact on local businesses, including hotels, motels, restaurants, transportation, retail stores, tourist attractions such as SeaWorld, Six Flags, Fiesta Texas, the Riverwalk, not to mention benefit to area attractions such as the Gulf Coast, the Mexican border towns, and the whole state of Texas for that matter. The international exposure of San Antonio to visitors from over 120 countries all over the world, many of whom will discover our fair city for the first time, but not the last. This will be the largest influx of international visitors to San Antonio since Hemisphere 1968. The opportunity for San Antonio to showcase its uniqueness, its warmth, its vitality, and its dynamic potential for the future, and hopefully its beautiful climate. An opportunity for San Antonio to feature its role as a key player in domestic and foreign trade activity, as well as its export-import importance to NAFTA. And an opportunity for San Antonio citizens to learn dramatically what an outstanding mission Rotary International is, accomplishing things in the areas of international understanding, youth exchange programs, and through the Rotary International Foundation, which funds programs such as, and issues such as health, hunger, humanity, literacy, and the environment. And finally, the list could go on and on, but San Antonio can feel very proud on landing Rotary International Convention in the year 2001, thus bringing to our city some of the members of the world's most prestigious service organization for men and women. We are really honored and excited. Thanks.
Thank you. Just again, on behalf of the city manager, Alex Rosenio, we're very delighted to be here and to have our team in place. And our team, Steve Moore and Alicia Vargas and all the folks that worked on that, but also our convention facilities team, our police team. We have Deputy Chief Albert Flores here. Sorry, Albert. Ortiz here, and several other folks. This is going to be a team effort from the city's point of view. It could not, as the mayor said, could not have happened without the local club. But we're going to be there with you the whole time. Any support that's needed, we've made a commitment. I know the local club has made a commitment. You heard the mayor make a commitment. And I want to emphasize from the staff's point of view and the many facilities and people, police, fire services, everything that's involved, we're going to be committed not just to make this a successful meeting. We know it's going to be successful, but to make it the most successful meeting that the Rotary International's ever had. And so we're committed that to you, and we're hoping that it's very successful from everyone's point of view. Thank you.
Thank you for This concludes the press conference. Apparently everybody's left anyway, but if there are members of the press who are still here who would have questions, we'd be happy to address them.
Okay, I don't know if you want to do, I don't want to, I'm happy to do that. I'm Leslie Hicks of the San Antonio Express News, and I was wondering if Rotary would have held its convention here in 2001 without the expanded convention center, or was that a critical component? You were talking about the importance of the Alamo Dome as well, but was the convention center in its expanded form a major component to get y'all here?
I would say that we did. Rotary will not need the entire expanded convention center. The fact that it is going to be renovated completely and new is no small factor. They were at a presentation which showed, of the site selection committee, which showed from the architect's point of view what the expansion would look like and the ease of walking and back and forth to the convention site, House of Friendship. I will categorically say that it would not have come here without the Alamo Dome.
I have another question too. The other question is,
I would also invite Steve, would you like to
Yeah,
add
the
something?
thing about is there's an all-space hold on the convention facilities, and the reason that is that we saw during the Final Four coming up, and as we saw during the NBA All-Star Game, they will use eventually every space they get many times. These mega events will, that you have. So what we do is we put an all-space hold on the facility because we believe that 30,000, those numbers are quite conservative, and we hope that if this thing grows, and these individual districts have their own caucuses, they're going to need more meeting space. So again, the renovation is key, the expansion is key, because they saw a commitment to having a better facility here. And I think it was tantamount to discussing with the staff of Rotary here, it was quite important that we had a great facility, because if you look at the other three cities, they have new convention centers. Denver's 300,000, and you have LA 800,000, 500,000 now, 800,000 coming online in 2 years. And San Diego is 254, and there'll be 508 by the time Rotary gets there. So it's key to know that these other cities have those facilities, and we believe as staff that the quality of facility and the size of it was key in this decision, and that we'll be able to afford their growth should they continue to grow in their membership ranks between now and the time they get here. We literally have to do that with Final Four. They said we don't need but half your center, and they need more than that now. So we hope they grow. That's good news.
I have a question. What about the terms of paying for using the space for those 4 days? Was San Antonio able to undercut the competition in terms of pricing?
We're quite equal on that. I think I couldn't speak for the other cities, but I do know that when you're dealing with a mega convention, a mega event, that kind of impact, that you look at the value added of hosting some of the responsibilities for Rotary International, and that will be in place for this group.
Thank you very much for coming. It's been a big day for this club, and it'll be a big day in 2001 when we open up hit the gavel and open up the convention. See you there.